with everybody, man? Shout out to everybody that's liked and subscribed to my channel. Um,
Is this
yeah, just uh,
is this
just going through some things.
how are
Still
you
going through
live on YouTube?
because you have a certain amount of stuff on there.
Oh, you need 50 subscribers and uh phone number.
Yeah.
I only have 7 subscribers.
Do you?
Could
Yeah.
you
So,
subscribe?
yep. I'll definitely subscribe. So, yeah, just going through it. Just still out here in Yakima, Washington. It was pretty cool. Sandman came through to give a shout out, man. It was cool hanging out with him for a little bit, hanging out with him and his dad. It was good to see Sandman. Definitely want to go hit the West Coast. I want to do quite a few things, but right now still going through the custody battle. They want to start slinging dirt and throwing, just the usual custody nightmare. You know what I mean? That every person has to, not every person, but for somebody who loves and cares for their children, they try to make it illegal to be a father to their children. In this case, the Yakima Nation court system has really looked out for me, has really, really, taken my side of the story. And all I am is coming with the truth. I got receipts, I got all that stuff. I got police incidents, reports. Um, if anybody's seen the video of where Junior was texting me like a year ago and was uh, was being harmed, was being assaulted by his sibling.
It was a
So
year.
yeah, that was about a year ago. And then so I
How was
uploaded
it
that,
a year?
and her rebuttal for that was that I coached him over a year ago. I coached him. I told him, "Hey, Junior, cry into the phone and pretend your brother's beating you up." And people are eating that. Can you believe that? But it's people that already has some type of feelings towards your boy Lucky Loco. When your shine outshadows their poor little pathetic lives to where they're wasting their time. And I'm out here on the grind, making sure I'm protecting my kid. Was taking care of a whole army, was taking care of a whole family. I was looking at my bank receipts and all this other stuff. Ain't no way I was a deadbeat dad. Taking care of a bunch, took on a lot of responsibilities that weren't mine. If I knew how cold and callous this person was going to be, I would have ran away. But I got something beautiful out of it. I got my boy, got my son. And it wasn't always bad. So I'm going to tell you that. It wasn't always bad, but it was more bad than there was good. So now that the relationship's over and it is what it is, for the men going through it, man, I hope this inspires you to go out and fight for your rights as a parent. Even with the criminal past, they're going to look at that and be like, you know, as long as there's no weirdo charges, or I don't know how it goes for people with domestic violence. I've never been arrested for domestic violence or charged with domestic violence. That's never been my stilo. So I don't know how it is for people to be able to get their parental rights with that. But there's cases where I see somebody that was their wife passed away from OD, and he was on that stuff pretty bad too. But after his wife and his kids were taken, he changed his life around and got his. He's now getting his kids back. And I follow him on Facebook, and I'm just like, man, that's awesome. Because every once in a while, when I'd be hustling fried bread, they used to hit me up, hey, can you come by and drop some fried bread off? And really good people. Just, some people get caught up in stuff, but he's getting his kids back. I have a coworker, a homeboy of mine. He went through the courts and he got his kid. Got a homeboy out in Seattle. He's going through his court cases and he's getting his kid back too. He's just shout out to all these men out here that are going out there and getting their hustle on, and want to be a part of their kids' lives. There's some people that just the mothers made it so complicated and so jump through hoops and all this stuff, and don't get discouraged. I'll do whatever I can to get you know to be a part of my son's life. And You know, they'll muddy the waters. They'll sling dirt on your name. They'll forget about all the years that you taking care of the kids, that you went above and beyond and was there more than actually their actual birth parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles and cousins and nieces and nephews. They'll forget all about all that and just want to attack you. You know, and the crazy thing is like when it comes to a woman's pride that's a narcissistic piece of shit, they will go above and beyond to tarnish your name, take away everything that you've ever done, and have people turn against you. And what can you do? You know, um, you're either going to, how do you say? Lost my train of thought. Thanks, guys. No, just kidding. Well, yeah, that's my whole journey now. Everybody's seen me. You guys see me go from restaurant, you know, with the family, staying there till late. Sometimes spend the night at the restaurant. You guys see me go above and beyond for this family.
We stayed tonight?
We used to have to live in that restaurant.
Oh, we watched Prey.
Yeah, yeah. Want to say what's up to everybody?
Hi.
Come through. Come say hi.
Yeah.
Oh, move my lunch for work. Come on. Come say hi.
Hey.
Say hi. This is Baby Lucky Loko.
Hi, this is Baby Lucky Loko.
my little mini me's. One of my little mini me's, but
Andy too.
Yeah, Andy too looks like his dad. So.
From like, remember that one video? When when Quentin and Andy was right next to each other.
What is this? Let's see. Effects.
What the heck? Where'd you even find that?
What's the effects?
Wait.
What else can you do? Oh, wow. What's up? It's Lucky Loko. Look.
Lucky Locos?
Mm-hmm. Hey, you guys. This is the first Native American Siamese twins. Look at that. The first Siamese twins on there. Hey, how's it going, Johnny DeFoya? I was checking out let's see what else I got here. Skeleton. Let's see.
Skeleton?
This is skeleton on there. So let's see.
I think it's full body.
It's full body? Okay, let's see. Let's see. Underwater. Let's see. Help you guys. We're drowning. Look, Junior, look, it shows right there.
What the heck? Spitter. Look, it's Spitter. It's a spitter. He's...
Oh, wow, look at this. Look at the big head.
Look at the spitter. Spider.
Spider?
Yeah, look.
The spitter?
Yeah, the spitter.
Let's see.
Look at that.
Let's see. Extra eyes. Let's see. Look at that.
Let me try. Let me see.
Let's see. Go ahead. Oh, man.
Look at the spider.
Let's see.
Dad?
My bad, you guys. I'm like a little kid with the... Oh, look at that.
What is that?
It's all blue everything.
Look at that spider. That's cool. Look. Look at it.
Where?
Right there.
Oh, cool.
Oh, it's outside. I was about to kill it.
Create. Man, I got some pretty cool stuff on here. Let's see. I'm going to take the side effects off. So let's see. Side effects. There you go. Let's go ahead and get back to the program. But anyways, I appreciate you guys tapping in. Yeah, like I said, we're going through the custody battle, going through all this stuff, dealing with the outside of court. You know, slinging dirt on my name, and you know how it goes for the opposite sex, how they'll go above and beyond just to try to ruin shit. But all I've ever been doing is a loving, caring parent. Huh?
When you leave, make sure that spider flies off.
Let's see. Oh.
When you leave to work.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been me and him. We got Thanks for Nothing Day coming up here pretty soon.
What is that?
It's not Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving story's a lie. So, but I'll teach you about that later. So, Thanks for Nothing Day. That's always what I've been told since I was a kid. Thanks for Nothing Day. And let's see, sandwiches cut in half. Let's see.
Sandwiches.
Let's see.
How'd you go?
Start Q&A. What happened? So I don't know. They have some pretty cool stuff on here. So I just said it says try it out. Sandwiches cut in half.
Shoot.
But yeah. Besides that, let's go ahead and start talking about high power fitness, Dubs, Gunner.
Dubs told.
Dubs told. Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. Chemo's awesome.
Yeah.
Dubs told. He kept saying it on. Dubs told. But yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. People going back and forth. I've seen the Salinas report going out to Mexico, which I thought was pretty cool, man. You know, and he's I still call him the Salinas report, even though it's Chicano too. Respects to the homeboy. I remember watching the Salinas report when he was just a sports broadcaster. Here in a second.
Boy, it's time to go play now. He said here in a second.
Yeah. But yeah, the Salinas report, and I remember watching him when he was just a sports broadcaster talking about sports, California. And then I guess like everybody else got interested into the fight for unity. North versus South fight, North and South unity. Everybody was getting excited, ready for the fight, pay-per-view. There was going to be a taco eating contest. There was going to be...
I'm going to win that contest.
The taco eating contest? We should do something like that. When I open the food truck again, see who gets
I'm going to win it. I love tacos.
Yeah.
Especially
So there was a
with sour cream.
There was a taco eating contest. There was all this stuff that was going to go on. And it was supposed to be pay-per-view. So I don't know if you guys remember that. Comment if you do remember. There's supposed to be a pay-per-view fight. You know, because if you guys really are the day oneers, like for a lot of us that were on YouTube in the beginning, that were watching everything was behind the handball court. It's behind the handball court. I went over there where I was knocking this dude, I was beating this dude, I was fighting nonstop. And then, he started catching traction, started going forward. Because I remember when I joined Gunners Collective, thank you, appreciate that. So I don't know why. Okay, so it says to put up there to go ahead and try. So it says sandwiches cut in half. I appreciate the comment.
Yeah, we have a sandwich.
Yeah, we do have a sandwich. Circle K sandwich.
Yeah.
And then we're cheersing with Arizona iced tea. Cheers. Look, go up here and cheers. Cheers.
Wait. Like this, show them all the name.
Yeah.
Like that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
He said, "Hey, cheers."
I see you.
Okay. So
Cause my hand's getting cold now.
Put your jacket on. So, anyways, yeah, the fight was going on. There was the whole stories was always beating people up, and Gunner. They call me Gunner. They call me Skinner.
What the hell?
So.
What the heck is
all these different stories, and this is the time of when COVID was happening, and a lot of us started catching on, and he's entertaining, and I'm sorry to say he still is entertaining. He still knows how to capture an audience, knows how to do stuff, and it's he put on a show, and these stories. Turn that down, Junior. He put on a convincing story of fighting all the time. YA to prison. Have you seen the backlash towards Dubs and Gunner show? Yeah, I definitely seen that. That's yeah. It's I'll get into that one, but yeah. So in the beginning, when Gunner had his first channel, I was watching from when he just had a couple hats, and he really grew an audience, and he was telling his story of offing somebody and cutting their members off and putting it in their mouth, and when he'd speak of a story of committing crimes like that, and I don't know if it's true or not, but just the way he laughing around, even for the family's victims, to see somebody talk like that on YouTube, it was kind of off. So as time goes on, he kept talking about fights and fights, and I was always fighting. We even got on. Even Chemo pointed out, Chemo in the beginning, when we got on there as far as getting on their knees and punching each other in the face, and come to find out he was nothing even doing anything like that. That he was scared, rolled it up, and it's but it was entertaining at that time. It was somebody that you sit down and listen to, and he's BSing you this whole time, and he so this fight goes on, and so the Salinas report becomes the fight conductor, the guy hyping everybody up. He gets in the ring, the Salinas and North versus South, and I just remember being super excited because if you guys remember, I was dropping super chats after super chats. I supported Gunner, I supported Rojo, I'm not in a convict's perspective, Paradigm Media News, and then you catch you believe them, and that kind of there's going to be a pay-per-view fight. So we're sitting, I'm telling everybody about it, telling on my Facebook, I'm telling everybody about the situation, telling everybody to go check it out, go take a look. Hey, there's a North versus South fight. I was going to put it on at the restaurant, and I did. It was in the back of the restaurant. I was just like, okay, now I'm going to kick back, I'm going to watch this, and there was nothing. And nobody's coming on, commenting, saying, hey, there's technical difficulties, and then you see the thing, hey, the fight's on, and it's pre-recorded. And it was like, if you come out with the truth and be, hey, look, it's going to be pre-recorded, we couldn't make that much money, it's not going to be pay-per-view, it's not going to be this, it's not going to go down like that, that's not too bad. I'd be like, okay, cool, I'll still support, I'll still get it, and so the fight goes on, and it was, and Cholo Trucker, he put paws on him. He did. Cholo Trucker beat him up, and all the handball court stories went out the window. And I'm not a boxer. My fat ass been winded too, but but I'm also not out here claiming that I can, knocking people out, or I defend myself. Oh yeah, and the time's right, the mood's right, yeah, knuckle up. But I'm not the badass. I'm not Mas Chingun. I'm not betraying something I'm not. I'm a badass dad. I take care of my kids, responsibilities, work a job, do the food truck thing. That's about it. Nothing too exciting, and nothing that you always get the truth, always get the. And I think people appreciate that when you have stuff like that too, where I'm not out calling people out. I'm not out here trying to fight people. I'm not hiding behind a camera and doing all this stuff. And that was my introduction to the Salinas report, now Chicano Tube. And he was a huge fan of Gunner too. A lot of us were, and it was like no matter. And as time went on and started seeing, like, it took him like about 4 days to come back on alive after that fight or whatever that was, him getting beat up by Cholo Trucker, and then seeing it go from that to, it's kind of like, if you've been in the yard, or not even the yard, even part of the vaudeville, you're part of your crew, or even somebody in high school that was just really about that life, like that, really just like put like that confrontations and fights, and knocking people out or just like getting into fights. You know them rowdy type of people, man. You get it from them, and you know that part of you never really leaves. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you catch on to the BS and you start catching on to the lies, and the only reason why I thought it was somewhat true is because we had two ex people that were high up. I don't even want to say the name because I don't want to disrespect nobody. I don't want to disrespect that crew that's in them yards. But they're from California, up by the San Francisco area and stuff. I don't want to disrespect anybody. I want to say nothing. I respect you guys. Much love and respect for all you guys that are out there putting it down and doing your damn thing. So I'm not going to be on social media talking about it. That's not my style. I don't want to make anybody mad. I don't want anybody, even though I'm not being disrespectful, but it is kind of disrespectful to start mentioning names like that. So I don't want to be they see me and take my head off. And not saying that they're going to come looking for me. I just don't want that piss anybody off to where they would. So we had two people that were like that were didn't say anything. Like they weren't, all the stories of scalping people in the yard, going across their throats, and just and looking because I remember the stories, and it's like I couldn't even joke around like this because I had to be serious. I had to be, just because I was following Gunner for the longest time, so you know, and I seen that Triple P dude come out with him being, hey, this ain't right, and we're big supporters and all this other stuff, and then I was one of them. I'm not going to sit here and act like I wasn't, and I don't have no problems with Gunner. I don't have anything, you know what I mean? But it was just like you start catching on. It's just entertainment. It's just social media, so it's not really. But when you support somebody and you're like, hey, I'm going to throw that dude a few bucks. Thank you for the stories. Thank you, and thank you for all this stuff. And so when you have two people not saying, hey, man, that didn't happen, and one of them was super knowledgeable about the past, people who's been on the list, people who's, both of them are. Both of them super intelligent. I love them both, man. I love Flacco, Rojo. Uh, you know what I mean? Still got their numbers. I don't have Flacco's, but, he's sitting doing what he's doing. But I reach out to Rojo whenever I'm in California or if I'm not,
What is that?
Great dude. Rojo means red.
Oh.
So,
It's Spanish?
Yeah.
Oh.
So to have people like that not calling you out on your BS, you kind of believe it. So as time goes on, then there's his stories start getting a little outlandish. He starts talking about somebody in the comments was like, "Hey, Gunner, was that you in the background of the music video?" He's like, "Oh, you saw that, huh?" So I think it was one of his friends like, "Hey, say that during the live." Now at the time, not really knowing too much about YouTube and stuff, and he starts going into how he knew Woody, how he knew Speedy Loke, and how he was out and about, and he was hanging with Woody and hanging out with just all these different people, and he's super active. He's checking paperwork at the nightclubs, beating people up at the nightclubs if they had no paper, didn't have good paperwork, and all this other stuff, and kind of just like people like that who are really about it, man. Usually ain't out on the streets, and but there is people out here that are about it, but they don't jump on social media. They're too busy out there doing their thing. um, but all this comes into play when he's talking about music videos, getting at Megan and all this other stuff, not knowing there's somebody in the background that actually knows Megan, that actually knows that crowd, knows some people that's actually from out that area, and it was Josh. Rest in peace, Josh, to the homie hangout. And he started.
You showed him the fried bread premix?
Yeah, we did the fried bread premix. He did. He did. Me and him did a show. Rest in peace, Josh. Right, and every prayers to you and your family on your new journey. Wash day. But yeah, we were that person knew all these people, so he started calling. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. And that's one thing that stuck out about Josh from the beginning, even though I was a big supporter of Gunner, Rojo, and Flacco and Paradigm Media News. That's one thing that I have to say is that if you're out here faking the funk, talking smack about people and saying that you're a part of that crew and running with them, he pulled up and was like, hey, no, that you're fucking lying, you're full of shit, and pulled the covers. And he was like, I know these people. I was at the wedding. I was, and Josh wasn't on social media out here. He wasn't making up stories. He wasn't in it for the money, because trust me, when I had the restaurant and stuff, I was trying to pay him to do commercials. Like, hey man, you know, I'd reach out, hey, can you promote this? Can you do this? Can you promote the restaurant? I'll pay you. He's like, nah, Lucky Loco, I got you. Anytime I see you, I'll just shout you out. Don't even worry about it. You don't even have to pay me for that, bro. This is, and so Josh wasn't out there for clout. He wasn't out there to, make stories up. When I first seen Josh on social media over here on YouTube, I caught on to his intellect, the way he talked, the way he carried himself, the education, and you could tell he used to be about that life, but he got educated. He started going to university, started doing stuff to help kids or people getting out of gangs, or help them at court. So he'd show up to court dates and help these children that made made some really bad mistakes, and he knew from him making a bad mistake that he wanted others, help others move in excellence. And so I caught on to that, and the way he kept, he didn't care that people he felt that, oh, he turned on him, he's a snake. No, he stood up for the truth of, like, if you're,
Dad,
huh?
what does calling someone a snake mean?
A snake is like somebody you can't trust.
Oh.
They're always gonna bite you, like, no matter what. Like, you can be nice to a person as much as you want, and then their intention's always to harm you, no matter how nice they are to you or you are to them. They'll bite you and kill you.
Oh.
So being a snake. So we catch on to the homie hangout, Josh, and he had like maybe 3,500 followers at that time, and then he would do stories of helping people and living on is it EPA, and he would share stories, and he would call people out on their shit, and that's one thing he did about Gunner. He started calling, and I started catching on too. And even though I was a supporter of Gunner, and Gunner was talking all kinds of smack on him, right away people would, turned on Josh, and the comments. I don't know if he was paying trolls to go over there and talk shit on Josh, but you see the comments, and then Josh's moderators were on it, like blocking people, and they're like, I see you on Gunner's channel, why are you over here on Josh's? And then block me, and then I text him, hey man, why'd you block me? I wasn't even, it was back and forth, and that's my introduction to Josh, and that's when I started catching on, to the buffoonery of L calling L's, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. There was Crazy Nick. Now, I think that's what his name was, Crazy Nick, that was going after Gunner. And they were just, you just start catching on. And it's just like, okay, all these people can't be wrong. And then your actions and the way, we were following him. When I was following him, I remember him. I think I just came home from the restaurant, and I was like, man, it was like 3:00 in the morning. And I get a notification that Gunner's live. And when Gunner was live, this is the time when I was with my baby's mom. I was like, oh shit, look, Gunner's on. And we're both bored, and the lights are out, and we're watching it, and man, homie was out of his mind talking about uh, Tupac's still alive.
Huh?
Yeah, he was saying Tupac's still alive, that a helicopter came and got him, that there's aliens living amongst us, but his eyes are like, yeah, man. It wasn't that, hey, what's up, dude? You know, keep it moving and grooving. He was like, yeah, man, Tupac's still alive. The cops, they covered it up, and it wasn't the same person. So when you see somebody on a sick one who's, yeah, man, you know, and aliens are living amongst us. Yeah, it was just, I was like, holy fuck. Like, homeboy is on a sick one, and it was just like, man, okay, I'm done super chatting because, you know, drinking beer is one thing, but you over here, you know, getting twacked out. And I knew it wasn't no Yayo, and I knew it wasn't, you know, no H. It was Escante. And I was sitting there, I was like, damn, dude. And then, when, what's his name came out with Flocko came out with the paperwork of him checking himself in because of paranoia of being on that shit. And I'm not dogging Gunner. You know, everybody has their flaws. There's not everybody's perfect, man. And it's just. And the thing I want to get on here for Dr. J1K, that's where it comes into play. Like when you portray yourself to be this person, and you know, you get out here and you start acting Moss Chingon. Like I said, nobody's perfect. Somebody's got something in their past that's going to come to light. That there's something that's gonna, you know, you're out here, you're with you know, like 100,000 subscribers, and there's gonna be about a good 5,000-6,000 of them that don't appreciate you lying.
How many subscribers do you have? Subscribers?
I think I have 1,400. Oh yeah, shout out to my subscribers too. My son asked me how many. Got 1,400 subscribers. So I'm not a big channel, but I appreciate every single one of them. You know, I'm not
a big channel too. I only have 7.
7. My son
8
said he
or
only
9.
has 8 or 9 subscribers. So I remember
7, 8, 9.
I remember that's when I was like, okay, I'm done with all the. And it was back and forth. It was Josh against Gunner against Flocko against Rojo, Gunner, Josh, and you know, you really, it wasn't really entertaining. The one thing I don't like is like self soldiering or, you know,
What time do you get to work?
talking crazy on the net.
Good.
What time is it right now?
4:06.
4:06. Okay.
So how long is that?
I'm gonna leave at about 5. So, yeah. So Flocko, Rojo, they don't communicate no more. They don't do a convict's perspective, and it sucks to say, but those two together, they were the shit. It was entertaining. It was knowledgeable. It was, you know, with Rojo coming on and talking about, and then they would like go back and forth, almost like when you're talking about sports, but they're talking about the criminal aspects of why it went down, and they had deep knowledge and were rooted in that type of lifestyle, to where they had insights that we don't have. We don't have that behind the scenes, you know, when you watch like Gangland and they, you know, they lie about all kinds of stuff. They would go, it was awesome. They fucking killed it. They were back and forth, you know, just the perfect team. And then, you know, Rojo dips out with Gunner.
I really want to play basketball.
And then,
Dad?
oh no, hold on. And then after that, we see a lot of people, you know, it was like shifted, you know, people no longer rocked with Gunner, or like everybody was just like all over the place. But to have those two, a convict's perspective, that was the hottest shit. I mean, if they kept it up, they would have been running the game. If they didn't let ego hurt, you know, I don't know what happened behind the scene. It was never my business. I never asked Rojo. I never asked Flocko. It was, if they wanted to know it would be on, they would have told us. So it was never really my business. I got along with them both, and for them to to break up. It was not break up, but for them to part ways and no longer do business together. And it was just like, I appreciated Flacco for carrying it on, but it was really not the same. Rojo was, hanging out and we're doing the lives. We'd all jump on the lives, have fun, go out. And then the next thing you know, they started there was two of them ready to do a channel together. And then those two don't go together. Or not go together. But I don't mean to make it sound like I ain't dissing nobody. But, and then, so they're not on a thing together no more. So they start going after one another, whatever. And so Dubs comes into the picture. And Dubs and Dubs was kind of he wasn't like really that entertaining to me, so I never really watched his channel and seemed but once he started getting with Gunner and started getting braggadocious and started feeling himself, drinking a couple beers and start, living that lifestyle that he thinks he's still a part of, and starts, calling people out and want to go after their family, and then he'll have every excuse in the book instead of owning up. Hey, I was drunk, man. I messed up, Instead, oh, it's them people that did this, and then and then people start catching on to his antics, like Mas Chingon still. If he went back, he would still be. He's Mr. Untouchable and all this other stuff, and he started just giving. And then he started bragging about the person that he offed, or the one thing. And this is social media. The family's victims, I don't know if they see it. I know I'd be pretty pissed if, for the person that offed one of my family members and was over here.
When we're going to play basketball, you're going to be at work.
And, for them to, oh, I caught a hot one. Hey, Whack, this is Dubs. I caught a hot one. I just got out from doing a hot one. And, just bragging about, yeah, you did that. Okay. But, like I said, if somebody was on social media making money off of it and carrying themselves and drinking beer and start getting all crazy and, hold on, it's almost done. And then it's just crazy to gets into that and wondering why everybody, they're not haters. I'm not a hater of Dubs. I just don't watch him. He's not entertaining to me. Yeah, big dog. Oh, Wes Watson. And it was just like, yeah, kind of a fanboy. So it's just like, and there's no shots at you, homeboy. If you're here in my face, I'll tell you the same thing. So it's like, it's not here. But this is just my opinion of all this stuff is that, if you came out like Flacco and was like, hey, look, yeah, I did wear a wire and I did do this, and but he was also in that area too in his head where, when him and his wife broke up and they would start, he's just, it wasn't, I don't know, because like even when you catch on and you hear like different stories and all these different like super exaggerated stories of the yard and all this other stuff, I'm kind of, I don't know, that's kind of, I've been in the yard for how long and I've never even seen anything close to that. Like it's, it's, some stuff are super exaggerated and it's entertainment and I understand that, but I remember when he first came on the scene, they were like hard, say this to the beer. They were drinking beers and getting to know one another. And then, as Chemo put out there, there's doing dance offs, and then, Gunner had the entertainment. He had all the people, so they were helping each other out and getting subscribers and hanging out, drinking beers and listening to music. And it's just when EBK came out and started pulling Gunner's paperwork and who he was, and he kind of left for a long time. Gunner left for a long time, and every once in a while, I stopped watching the stories because it was just like, to me, if you lose credibility, and I know it's just entertainment, I don't expect you to be out here like doing all this extra stuff. That's far from it, but when you share stories and make up stuff and just my dad wanted me killed and this person wanted me killed, almost got killed until they found out I was a YouTuber and all this crazy stuff, and it was just like, and that you're still living in California when you're out here in Portland, and you know not that far from me. He probably comes around here to Yakima and stuff like that, and if I seen Gunner, I'd have no problems with him. I'd say what's up to him. I don't have no ill will towards him. I don't think it's like I said, it's just entertainment. But when you start catching stories that people pull your covers, like Josh, that was the first person I seen that was besides OG Triple OG. But it was like, oh, they're just about it for the money and all this other stuff, and come to find out it's true. But yeah, when it comes to like Dubs and with all this stuff that's going on and all these other people from his neck of the woods, and you had the white dude come on and start talking about Dubs and deflecting, that you're only on the yard for 8 years, and it really don't matter to me. I'm over here taking care of my kids. I'm out here working. I'm out here doing a business. So it really doesn't matter if I see Dubs. I ain't gonna, get off where I'm at, because I'm not mad at Dubs. I'm just pointing out why all these people are mad at you. And if you would have just, hey, yeah, the whole time when you're like, hey, were you ever scared when you were in the prison? No, I was never scared. And that trips me out when people say that, because they're full of shit, because you just never know what's going to happen, how it's going to be. And when something does go down, you're the last to know. Nobody's, there's no indication that you're going to get it. Nobody's, it's pretty tight-lipped community to when it does pop off. Shit, I was scared in prison. I don't know. I'm a man, homie. I'm not going to... There's times where you think you're not going to go home, where you think, it's a dangerous place. Of all the people that you see on the news and the newspapers and throughout the years of the unaliving people and all this other stuff, and they're all in that one area. Worst of the worst on the yards. From bank robbers to, gangbangers to, just being active, being tweaked out, and do something to somebody like Dubs did to his victim. Walked up and unalived him, getting him from the back of the head, and being a lifer, and that was, you think you would have more to offer than the antics of just defending that you never went, you're making it seem like you never went to the SNY, that you weren't the preacher, you were not, when you have 16 to life and all these other people, and I don't hang around pieces of trash, and next thing you know, your best friends with Gunner, and this is just prison politics. I ain't talking about on the streets. Do what you do, homeboy. If you make money, get that bag. You know what I mean? But it's at the cost of integrity, of self-respect, and all this other stuff. And shady people, I don't conduct business with. I stopped hanging around with certain people because they were ripping off their customers. They were doing wrong. And it was just like, okay. And it's not even just about business. It's just about having an integrity, a reputation. I don't condone people shading other people when we're out here working hard, and people are saving up their money, and they give it to some promoter, and then they rip them off. And that's a whole different story. That's just one of the indications of when I stopped hanging around with a really close friend of mine. No ill will towards him, no anything. If I ever see him, I've seen him a couple times. He was acting like he was scared of me, and I'm like, I don't have no beef with you. I just stopped it just because I don't have love for you doesn't mean I hate you. But it was just seeing how it all comes through, and how one person birthed a lot of these channels. You know what I mean? One person, and I know Flacco is going to be like, well, I started the first YouTube prison thing, but then it started all these different channels, and people getting real comfortable. Some people have money for bodyguards whenever they go now. So for Homeboy to be dissing on Josh when he passed away, like I said, you got to have some self integrity, bro, because he wasn't like, even if he was alive, I'm pretty sure dude would be talking grimy still, because he has that money for bodyguards, or if he ever goes around, he's never gonna go to the West Coast. You know what I mean? So just hide out to where behind the camera. It's entertainment, but you got these real life people, with real life issues with you. You got the people you rolled up and told on, and when they see you, they're gonna get you. So why not make a buck off it by keeping shady about it, keep lying to people, keep and people will catch on to like I caught on. I'll go on every once in a while. You'll see me in the chat. Hey, what's up? Dubs blocked me on TikTok because I asked, hey, do you think Chemo's gonna make uh, a TikTok channel now? Oh, probably. Blah, 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 blah. And next thing you know, I got the screen went and it went to a different thing, and I was like, and I looked him up and he blocked me, and I'm just like, all right, you know, level 4 killer, whatever he how he carries and conducts himself. And if me, I am not a gangster, I'm not anything. I'm a single father taking care of his kids, and has an opinion about the stuff I watch and the people that I see. Like I see the other Lucky homeboy from Southern California. I've been watching him. Exposed Tube. Been watching him. And I've been watching Chemo. I don't care how long the episodes are. Chemo, he's a genius. Doesn't say a single word. Not a single word at all, man. And lets them speak for themselves. Let them speak for their own stuff. And you know, he or whoever running that channel, shouts out to you, man. And what's up, Weasel, New Mexico? 575. That's the 505. Pueblo, Colorado still has the best Hatch chili, sorry to say. So we get into these other channels that birthed off, exposed to OG, triple OG. You get these different ones that were, a mile, just all these different, Mile High Hustle, Conrad. And I've been telling people that dude ain't no punk. He's known in them prison yards, and he's never rolled it up. He's never has no smut on his name, being the only person, they're like, because when I rolled up, they were like, yeah, there was you just missed a homeboy that you're here all by yourself. And that was a homeboy Conrad. And I heard about him before I even seen him on social media over here on this. So that's a good dude, man. He's a really good dude. And Gangish, I was locked up with him too. Another one is that what's his name? He's a Mexican Crip dude from out here in Colorado too. I was locked up with him because my points dropped, and I went from Buena Vista to 4 Mile. What's his name? I'll figure it out. But I was locked up with him because, like you said, there's maybe about a handful of Mexican Crips on there that were holding it down. The rest of them, I don't know, they must have hung it up or whatever. But yeah, he was one of them. Walking Eagle was one of them. What was the other homeboy's name? Can't Get Right. He was one of them. Fuck's his name? There's another Crip from Pueblo. He was a Kelly Park Crip. But yeah, it was all these different channels stem from Gunners Collective, and you watch all these different episodes and all these different things. Everybody has something else to say. Then APA comes out, and in the beginning, it was like I was leaning more towards Gunner. I don't think I ever talked shit to him on. It was never really my, you know what I mean? It was kind of just like, it was like, then I started catching on, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go check out, see what Homeboy has to say, and Homeboy's dissing his wife, his kids, and just doing the most, and gotta have some type of class, gotta have some type. If you're really mosh, you know what I mean? You carry yourself that type of way, you gotta have, a lot of people respect when you carry yourself a certain way. All right, man. You take it easy too, homeboy. Yeah, just watching from the beginning, being an outsider and watching all the stuff that did go down, man. It's can get dangerous, but if you're not going anywhere, and I think it was Exposed Tube talking about, somebody was like, hey man, you should have just kept your job instead of the hopping from YouTube to TikTok, and now you gotta stay on social media and try to win people over from TikTok. And that's another thing too, is watching, because he used to talk shit about TikTok in the beginning. He used to say, oh, he's wearing TikTok pants, he's wearing, he's like, fuck TikTok, that's like a little kids channel and all this other stuff. And now,
Not little kids.
Now Exposed Tube and all these other people, and your own subscribers are starting to catch on with the plaque and all this other stuff. But my opinion on it, man, is just try to keep it real. Just be real with yourself. Be real with your subscribers. Sure, some people might leave, but in the long run, people will appreciate it, and people might die down making videos about you. Might, want to have and much to talk about if you're like, hey, man, I did spend more time, but I guess when you're all buzzed up and you don't have the balls to pull a Fieto and go put in work, you didn't kill your Sally, and it's crazy. Like when you carry yourself that way and then come to find out you're a preacher, or not preacher, just somebody who turned their life over. And there's nothing wrong with that. When somebody turns their life over to God or to a cause, something different, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's a lot better than acting like you're just like he said, scalping people, ripping their throats open, stabbing people at the nightclubs, and it's better just to be like, hey man, yeah, this is who I am. Roll the, but people will catch on, people will do their thing, and yeah, that's my spill. Before the sun goes down, me and little baby Lucky are gonna go shoot some basketball, and I'm gonna head to work. Much love and respect, you guys. I hope you guys have a great day. And yeah, that was my little hour-long video. Let's see.